What's up, guys? This is Showtime's Fight Forum. I'm your boy Showtime, and as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We back with some more fire, and this week is a big week. Why? Because it's pay-per-view week. All right, we have the reigning, defending champion Israel Adesanya defending his belt against somebody who have we seen before, former champion Robert Whittaker, aka Bobby Knuckles. Yeah, this is gonna be a very fun fight. The card in general, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's lackluster, but once again, it's not like the most anticipated card or anything like that. Like, it's a good card. It's gonna be good fights that we're gonna definitely talk about. However, you know, we're gonna look forward to other cards throughout the year that's gonna be a little bit better lined up. So I just want to talk about the biggest fights, or at least the biggest fights I'm interested in. Hopefully the biggest fights that you guys are interested in. But make sure before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like, comment, follow me on social medias at Showtime Sanders, and you already know the drill. So the first fight that I want to talk about is an important fight, all right? Because it actually is going to determine, the winner is going to determine who's fighting the winner of the main event. And that fight is Derek Brunson fighting Jared Cannonier. Now, this fight is very, very fun. It's very interesting. Now, it's not, in my opinion, a typical striker versus grappler, because I do believe both guys are pretty decent in both for it not to be just labeled as that. However, I do think that Jared has a little bit more versatility in his game than a Derek, who really does want to just, either if he's not landing that big right, then he's literally diving for takedowns, and that's what he needs to do to win. He's not really gonna outpoint you too much with the striking. So, like I said, definitely, you know, it's Black History Month. You know, go ahead, pit two brothers against each other, see who's gonna fight another brother. You know, you see, I like it. It's cool. Yeah, but let's break this down a little bit. All right, so Derek Brunson, he's on a 5-fight win streak. Ever since he's lost to Israel Adesanya, he has won every single fight after that, and he's looked pretty impressive. I'm not even gonna lie. I am personally not the biggest fan of Derek Brunson's game. I think it's very limited. I think it's very predictable. And I think once you go against the elite of the elite, aka the Israel Adesanya, you get picked apart because you're very predictable, and you don't want to be that predictable going against Israel, because he will obviously KO you. And the same thing for Robert Whittaker. You don't want to go against him either and be predictable, because he will know your game plan, and then he will probably sneak a head kick and knock you out. But that's besides the point. He's won every single fight. Very impressive. I think his last win was versus Darren Till in a rear naked choke. And that was a fight that honestly I didn't know if he was gonna necessarily win. I'm not the highest guy on Darren Till. However, I thought that Darren Till was gonna be the better fighter, and I was wrong. Derek Brunson has shown, blonde hair Brunson is what he wants to call himself. Cisco, if you want to call him, Dirty Q-Tip is another. I don't know which one you want to use, but you can use any of them. He's turned the corner. And yeah, so there's that. Now, Jared Cannonier. He's definitely a more well-rounded fighter. He's got that fought all the way up to heavyweight and cut all the way down to 185 and did it very well. I mean, he looks great at 185, and he's been dominating the 185 game, honestly. Like, he's been very, very well. We all know he will knock you out, but he's also a decent grappler as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of like areas to his game that's very, very good. He just beat Kelvin Gastelum, and this is why I think that this is a very, I'm not gonna say easy fight for him, but I think this is a very winnable fight for him. I think Jared Cannonier is going to win this fight just off of the fact that we've seen him fight Kelvin. Kelvin is a great wrestler. He's a very quick wrestler, all right? He's able to out-grapple a lot of people. I mean, he won the tough finale because of his grappling. And he wasn't even a striker then. Now he's a very good striker too, but we all know his start was wrestling. Jared stuffed all his takedowns. I think he was, what, 0 for 8? 5 rounds? Now, here's the thing I will also say. I'm a wrestler, so I'm not going to just simply say, oh, he was able to stuff Kelvin, so he can stuff Derek Brunson's. Derek Brunson is a completely different wrestler than Kelvin Gastelum. Their styles of wrestling is completely different. Derek Brunson was able to take down Yoel Romero, all right? And that's like prime Yoel Romero. So I'm not going to sit here and just make it seem like all because he was able to do that, he can definitely take down Kelvin. But I will say that I've seen enough people stuff Derek Brunson's takedowns for me to feel a little bit confident that, oh, not a little bit, a lot more confident that Jared Cannonier can do the same exact thing. I do believe that he's the better striker. I think that he'll be able to stuff those takedowns, and I think Derek Brunson, once he doesn't get the takedown, he goes into panic mode. And if he doesn't just dart forward and gets clipped, he normally just will, get picked apart and then clipped. So I think how the fight goes, I'm going to go second round TKO stoppage by Jared Cannonier. I think that he's going to get desperate. He's not really going to get the takedowns that he wants. He's going to pin him against the wall a lot, and it's going to frustrate Jared Cannonier. However, I do believe eventually they're going to separate and he's going to get clipped. And I think it's going to be either a right hand or a kick that's going to take take Derek Brunson to heaven. So now let's go ahead and go to the next fight. This fight's a pretty big fight. All right, we have Taya. I'm gonna butcher his last name, so I'm not gonna say it. And he's gonna fight Derek Lewis. We all know H-Town King, Knockout King, however you wanna call him. My balls are hot. This man is a force to be reckoned with until he fights for a championship belt. Then he normally just gets picked apart. Once he gets to the best of very best, he normally gets beat pretty easily. However, when he goes against everybody else, man, he's dominant. He knocks you out, and it's bad. And I'm so happy for that guy, because honestly, I used to crown him as the worst great fighter I've ever seen in my life. And I think there's more nuances to his game to make me stop saying that. However, I think it still stands true. He is so but he just gets it done every single time. And he has a knockout. He has power that most human beings don't have. So hey, this fight's gonna be a banger. Let's just cut to the chase. We know somebody's getting slept in this fight. So Taya likes to strike. He likes to knock people out. He's on 4-fight win streak. A lot of people love him now because, he knocked out Greg Hardy. Whatever. A lot of people also love him because he does that shoe gooey. And if you don't know what a shoe gooey is, it's disgusting. He basically picks a person, he gets beer, puts it in the shoe, and he drinks it. I don't know how he does it, don't know why he does it. It's very disgusting, but it is what it is. I wouldn't even do that out of my own daggone shoe. I'm excited for this fight. At the end of the day, we go off of power. Derek Lewis has the advantage. We go off of quickness and technical ability. It's definitely tied. It's a pick'em fight. And a lot of people aren't going to necessarily think that. People are just going to say it's Derek. But in my opinion, it's such a pick'em fight because Taya has such good boxing, good striking. He has a good enough chin. He's been knocked out before, but he has a good chin. Derek has a great chin. We know he's tough as rock. He's tough. He has decent enough cardio. People don't give him credit. People think he really has bad cardio. However, he has good enough cardio where he's able to still land that punch even in later rounds. So yeah, he's tough. How I see this fight going, Derek Lewis by KO. I think it's gonna be a bar burner. I think that Taya's gonna hit him, rock him really hard, and he's gonna get excited. And next thing I know, you're gonna see, boop, a vicious uppercut or hook that's gonna land for Derek. And it's gonna be night-night, and we're gonna see that weird dance that he liked to do and hear him on the mic, which is always funny. So now, after that's the co-main, we have to go to the main event of the evening. That is the rematch between Bobby Knuckles and Izzy. I'm super excited for this fight, and I do think that there's a lot more confidence on Bobby's side. I think that Robert's gonna have a lot more confidence going into this fight. Not just because he's on a win streak and he's beaten a lot of good folks. He's beaten Kelvin Gastelum, he's beaten Darren Till, he's beaten really good fighters, but also seeing Izzy lose, I think that definitely brings confidence. I don't know about you, but as an athlete, I know if I see a person loses, I just automatically be like, this man's human. Okay, I can definitely beat this guy. Not saying you wouldn't think that before, but now you know he can be beaten. And Juan is not, in my opinion, John is not the greatest fighter in the world, in my opinion. He's a very beatable person. We just seen him get beat. So it's definitely in the mind like, oh yes, Izzy can definitely be beat. He can be out grappled. Also, he does get tired. And you can nullify Izzy's game where you don't dart forward and get clipped off, but you can actually pick apart his stand-up a little bit and be able to, avoid the main strikes, wear him down against the fence, and be able to take him down. So, it's definitely eye-opening to Bobby, and I know for a fact Robert got a lot of confidence going into this fight, more than he did the first time, in my opinion. Now, and also being burnt out from being champion and going through those wars with Yoel Romero. Like, anybody who hasn't seen those wars, it was ridiculous. So you got to think he's definitely a little bit more confident now. Izzy, we already know what it is. He's undefeated at middleweight. He's never lost. The closest he did was to Kelvin, and he absolutely obliterated Robert Whitaker when they fought, dropped him twice, and then the second time he absolutely finished him and beat the hell out of him. it's tough for Izzy, in my opinion, because it's hard enough to beat an elite fighter. It's even harder to beat an elite fighter twice. And Izzy has to do that challenge. And Robert is such a tricky striker, such a good grappler. He really doesn't have too many holes in his game. So it's really gonna be up to the motivation and the genius and the game plan of Israel to retain his belt. So I don't think this fight's gonna go anything like how it did the first fight. I do believe it's gonna be a lot closer. I think this might actually go to decision. I'm gonna say this is gonna be an unanimous decision fight. I'm going to go 3 rounds to 2, Israel Adesanya. I think that he will be able to adjust and still be able to outpoint Robert Whittaker and keep him out of range and get away from those sneaky kicks that Robert Whittaker has. And then we could talk about what's next for both, because, I mean, after this, Robert's going to be out for a while if he loses this fight and doesn't get the belt, because, you know, you already lost to the champ twice, and I think Israel got a lot of planned. But we'll see. I mean, who knows? Usman might try to go up, and then, I don't know. But, you know, that's my opinion. That's how I feel about these fights. Book them, bet them, and if you win any money, you owe me. So make sure you send me my money. If you lose, I'm sorry, bro. But thank you guys, as always, for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and then I want to hear what you think. As always, this is called The Forum. Tell me what you think. Who you got winning? But thank you. Be blessed, and as always, this is Showtime's Fight Forum.